What's going on there, guys? Good evening. Good Saturday or Sunday evening. It is the Earthmaster here. Time is about 7:07 p.m. West Coast time. Again, this is the Earthmaster, Sunday, September 25th, 2022, and it is about 7:06. Okay, let's get that out there. Latest earthquake on the globe shows a looks like a 1.0 up into the Alaska region. Starting to see a little bit of swarming activity kicking up there along the west coast again, or the Hawaii area. First, before we jump into the earthquake activity, I want to jump into hurricane, or what right now tropical storm Ian, soon to be a hurricane and make major hurricane status, possibly hurricane level 4, category 4, and then dying down a little bit as it heads towards the Florida area. This is the latest info here from the ECMWF model. We'll check out the GFS here in a little bit. This is off the windy.com app, the hurricane tracker of Tropical Storm Ian. Current wind speed is 60 miles per hour. Pressure 29.26. We can switch these different models here. A little bit of disagreement in between some of the weather models. And both of them don't look good for the western Florida area. So we're looking at right now the current location here. Come Tuesday, speeds could be up to 132 miles per hour as it makes a category 4 hurricane status. It looks like around Thursday time frame on the 29th is when it's expected to make some landfall right there on the western coast of Florida. And a couple of these models bring it in as a category 1 or category 2 hurricane right around the western Florida area. Zoom in a little bit and see exactly where we're at. Of course, Tampa is right smack dab in the path of the ECMWF model. The NOAA model here has it just offshore a little bit with uncertainty listed here in the cone. And that technically could be some worse news because the brunt of the system, or the strength of the hurricane, is mostly on the eastern side here. And if it just hovers right off the coast here, it could really smack Tampa harder than, say, for example, being directly over this area. Either way, it looks like the Tampa region is going to be getting hit pretty good. Sarasota area as well. Spring Hill, definitely going to be an interesting scenario. So let's go ahead and kick this thing to the GFS model track. Let's see here. Actually, we're keeping that on the ECM. This here is the options that they have here, the NOAA and the ECMWF. So that's let's go ahead and look here and put this into motion a little bit and see where it's going to take us. Again, kind of sitting down here right now. We are expecting that. Let's speed this up here just a little bit. Let's go to Monday. The red's going to be the forecasted area. Looks like Monday around 5 p.m. Here's Tuesday around 8 p.m. Notice this hurricane definitely gaining some strength here. 132 mile per hour winds, category 4. Come Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday around 11, getting up there. Let's go to about Wednesday evening and see what we got, because that's going to be the little ticker right here. It looks like they got Tampa right here on the eastern side of the Hurricane Ian once that does hit here. This is Wednesday, the 28th at 8 p.m. And we'll go to about midnight here. And this one, this model here, the NOAA agency, does show it right smack dab there on the eastern side of the eye wall, and then it kind of shoots up north here a little bit, and actually it looks like it swings over dramatically on Thursday morning north of Tampa, Spring Hill. Let me go back here to about 11. It looks like it takes a dramatic turn to the northeast, but losing strength at the same time. But either way, that's going to put Tampa right smack dab in that zone, that hazard zone. Okay, GFS model. Let's go ahead and zoom in here a little bit closer on the GFS model. Notice the wind speed off here a little bit on Thursday. Looks like 12 a.m. This model here doesn't appear to make a specific landfall right there as far as the eye goes, and that's the ECMWF model. So there is that uncertainty listed up here, and the uncertainty on these two weather models here. So I think this one here would be better because it does have it off the coast a little bit, and not as intense. I don't think they're not going to get the huge brunt of this eastern section of the hurricane around the Tampa area. And this model here looks like it continues to track northward instead of making that dramatic turn to the east. It goes up a little bit further north and then turns towards the east. Let's check out the HRR model, which is the high resolution model. And sometimes these can be more accurate. What's going on here? That's kind of weird. Oh, there we go. Yeah, the HRR. Hold on a second here. It's a little weird. Maybe does it go that far? It doesn't look like it goes that far. That's why these HRR models are very short on the time. That's why they're so accurate for the most part. So we'll have to check this tomorrow and the next day and see where it has it forecasted. But either way, I would definitely be prepared. The ECM model showing it making a really, really close approach there to the Tampa area. Again, it will be Category 1 as it reaches landfall right there. Puts Tampa and some other areas right smack dab in that eastern zone here. So just be prepared, folks. I see a lot of articles there on the social media page about stores are selling out of water and food and whatnot. I can only imagine, man, would it be kind of scary out there for no power for days. Hopefully, we'll keep an eye on this, and I'm going to be doing nightly updates on this thing because a lot of people do look for these forecasts. And, again, I think tomorrow we should have a better picture on the more direct trajectory of the Hurricane Ian once it comes up here off the west coast of Florida. We'll watch that pretty closely there. But yeah, windy.com, this app is a really cool forecaster as far as wind gust, and kind of goes to show you the rain accumulation over the next what do we got next? Going to be the next 5 days or so. Look at how much rain they're going to get down there. I wish we had a section of that. That shows like 3 feet. That's a lot of rainfall out there. So storm surge, rainfall, wind. Yeah, highly populated region around Tampa. Definitely be on guard out there, folks. Make sure you're taking heed to law enforcement advisories and whatnot as far as the evacuations go. But we'll definitely keep an eye on that. All right, let's get over back to the earthquake activity and see what we got cooking out here along the North American plate. Not a whole lot. Far as most recent activity goes, it looks like Hawaii out here having a little bit of movement. In fact, this little oddball quake got a 2.9 well off the coast of the Big Island. Looks like Ellis Seamount. Quite a few seamounts out here, folks. This one at about 8.1 kilometers below the surface for a 2.9. Some other activity out here along the Big Island. Mostly around the Pahala area. Some movement up here around the Mauna Loa area earlier this afternoon, but nothing so far this evening. Some further movement, newer movement down here around Tonga and the Fiji area. Look at that one. 4.8, 534 kilometers deep. That's way down there, way down there. Some other movement as well throughout the afternoon time frame and early morning time frame, but to be honest, we haven't really seen a whole push of any activity anywhere. Just been a couple spotty earthquakes here, and it basically been within the last hour. That one around Tonga, some activity there in Hawaii. Far as movement over here further west, the majority of this activity today or from this morning time frame, I should say. Got one earthquake there this morning as well near Myanmar. Iran seems to be having a little bit of activity out here. Looks like 4.3 and a 5.0, fairly shallow there at 10 kilometers. But man, it's been awfully quiet as far as movement goes. We're getting some divergent boundary earthquakes, separation of the seafloor, spreading centers out here, 4.9 in the southern mid-Atlantic ridge. When we see stuff like that, that ultimately puts further strain and pressure, if you think about it as a whole, this whole plate here, moving off towards the northeast. So that does put quite a bit of pressure up here against this region. And then when you got further divergent boundaries up here, separation of the seafloor, I'm not for sure what to expect for this area. All I know is, for the most part, movement has come to a halt as far as newer activity goes, generally around this area of the Western Pacific and the Philippine plate here. So we'll watch that pretty closely, see what takes part overnight. West Coast kind of lighten up here a little bit as far as the microquake activity goes. 2.0 in the Diablo range, mountain range out here, the coastal range. San Joaquin Valley sits over here to the east. And some activity, it looks like this morning time frame on the San Andreas Fault. A little earthquake activity out here too, kind of in a little cluster near the bodefish. I think that's bodfish, right? Couple 2.2 and a couple 1s in there. Ridgecrest kind of filling in a little bit here tonight as well. No major movement or any swarming taking place here around the southern branch of the San Andreas Fault. This is very typical along the San Jacinto Fault zone. I was watching this swarm earlier this morning, but it looks like things have kind of died off. Not a whole lot of further movement there with that earthquake activity. The rest of the country, man, very spotty. Pacific Northwest, some reports coming in, it looks like, from the USGS around the Mount St. Helens area. A couple small quakes, so let's go ahead and jump right into the tremor map here, and we'll check out Mount St. Helens here in a little bit. Wow, okay, so it dropped off completely. No tremors coming in whatsoever, unless I'm early, but they should have put it out by now. Have to come back and check, but zero epicenters of tremor out there along the Cascadia today. Check out Mount St. Helens, and we'll see what we got here. There we go. And some of that earthquake activity looks like it's centered up here on the northern flank, right around the old area back in the 80s there, where it kind of spilt out and erupted. Let's check out the seismograph station here and see what we got for seismic activity. Let's see. It's hard to tell what these are, folks. Sometimes those can be earthquakes. Sometimes they can be rock falls. I'm looking for well distinguished spikes like that. Those are definitely earthquakes. Not big ones. As you can see, they're listed on the map. It looks like a 0.4 at 2320. 0.4 at 2320 would be somewhere down here. But I'm not seeing it. So I something's going on with these weird timestamps here. 2320, 2344, and I don't know, 23, I don't even see it on there. Well, what about these? You know? I wonder if, hold on a second here, let me see here. That says UTC time. So, let's see what local time is up there. Oh, it just says UTC 2320 UTC. I don't know, kind of weird. This is Pacific time. This is UTC. Unless they got this backwards, that could be 2320, maybe right here as well. So I don't know. It's either way. There's a couple earthquakes listed today. No major swarms, but just a little spotty activity up there throughout Cascades. Let's see what else we got. Yellowstone National Park. We'll go ahead and check this out here. See if the old super volcano up there in Washington, or in Washington, in Yellowstone is rumbling, which it's not. Just having a couple small microquakes today, it looks like. Nothing major. But I'd still say this is a continual earthquake swarm here over the past 3 weeks or so. It seems like every day has had at least a couple spikes on it, so I would consider that continuous activity. Not a major swarm by any means, but a little bit of seismic activity here listed up on the map. Very small microquakes. The rest of the park looks pretty quiet, folks, as far as the movement goes up there. Let's go ahead and check out space weather real quick. Stand by for a second. We'll pull up the Solar Ham site, and again, things are green across the board. These guys look like they've updated some of their stuff here. Green far as the 3-day goes, but look over here, they've updated the X-flare to 10% and then made it green. What could be causing the elevated alert? Because this was 5% chance, now it's 10% chance in green. So I don't know, maybe they're not entering their numbers correctly up here. But right now they have 99% chance of a C flare, 40% chance for an M flare, 10% for an X flare. I don't know. Unless they know something I don't, I'm not really seeing it. When you look at the magnetic fields here, let's see, 3110 would probably be the most likely culprit. And it's growing. Look at this right here. These magnetic fields are definitely getting a little bit closer, a little bit bigger here, a little bit more complex, it looks like. These other ones down here, not so much. So I think, if anything, the local or the seismic threat, the flare threat, looks to be coming from this one, as far as the latest imagery goes. And that is 3110. 3110 is a beta magnetic class there. 75% chance of C flare. They do have a 5% chance for an X flare in there, probably because of this dynamic complex field right here. These notice the blue and the orange and yellow getting awfully close together, and they're growing at the same time, so that kind of will create some sparking, so to speak, between the fields. So we'll watch it. Right now, current data, though, shows not a whole lot of activity. Pretty minimal. Look at this. Kind of dropping below the C threshold there. Haven't really had any major flares over the last couple days, but we'll keep our eyes open for sure. All right, guys. Have a good night. Stay safe out there. And again, we're going to be covering the hurricane activity out there. Look at Yellowstone. What do you got there? A little spike of a... little spike up there on the graph. Alrighty, guys. Yeah, we'll be covering the Hurricane Ian as it makes its way over towards the Florida area. We'll watch that pretty closely. EMSC model showing some more activity, or a little bit more activity than the USGS is here on the map, although not a whole lot. There's some 3s out here around the Philippines, south of the Philippines, 2.8 on the Java Trench. But aside from that, things are just kind of a little bit on the calm side currently, but we'll definitely keep an eye on it and see what Mother Nature wants to do here. If you get a chance tonight and you got clear skies, go out and check out Jupiter late at night here. Once it gets dark, towards the southern sky, towards the southern southeastern sky. Depends on what time you're looking at it, but pretty bright, very bright planet up there in the sky. Alrighty, guys, have a good night. We'll catch you all a little bit later on. Peace out.